In a supposedly dystopian future, the polar ice caps are melted because of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse emissions, raising the Earth's temperature. Over centuries, the ocean swallows up almost all the land, flooding nearly everything. And for 100 years, humanity struggles to survive on makeshift floating communities called atolls, scavenging for resources and dreaming of finding the mystical dry land. So technically, we are talking about the movie called Waterworld. The story kicks off with the mysterious mariner who has some fish-like mutations. He's evolved to have gills, letting him breathe underwater. So the plot follows the mariner as he meets Helen and her adopted daughter Enola, who has a map tattoo on her back that supposedly leads to dryland. They are being chased by the villainous Deacon and his band of smokers, a chaotic bunch driving around in makeshift watercraft. Well, basically, the villain wants to kidnap Enola so they can decode the map on her back, which leads to the mystical dryland. So when I first started watching Waterworld, I thought it would be mediocre and average. I didn't expect anything extravagant. But as I watch it, my perception of classic movies have changed. I used to think classic movies had boring CGI and used stop-motion techniques that look hilarious and unrealistic. But this movie doesn't rely much on CGI since it was filmed in the real ocean. There was some specific scene that used CGI and it looks really terrible. But what can I say? It's a classic movie. They didn't have advanced technology back in the day. So besides of CGI, the set design and practical effects are really impressive, with the floating atolls and rusting ships giving a gritty, realistic feel to the world. It's really an ambitious movie with amazing sets. Director Kevin Reynolds put a lot of effort into making this movie look great. I haven't watched many classic movies, so I didn't know what to expect. I usually see them using stop-motion techniques for specific effects. One thing that's really cool is how they explore what the world and society might look like if everything was flooded. They show how people live together in one community and survive. The team behind the film did a great job making it look realistic. There is some specific scene where they purify pee into clean water and drink it, and then they pee again and purify it again. Yeah, it is gross, but it kinda makes sense though. You know, if you're trying to survive in the ocean with no other source of fresh water. I like the action sequences in this movie. It's pretty intense, especially at the climax, with jet skis, boats, and plenty of explosions to keep everything exciting. Though the protagonist doesn't have much fighting action, it's crazy how the movie is 3 hours long, but it only have a few fight scenes. Most of the time, he's just running away from being captured. It's only in the last scene that he shows his full potential against the villain. Kevin Costner, who plays the mariner, does a good job as the gruff, loner hero. Though his character doesn't have much personality, he seems cool in the way he talks and acts, but he can be a bit aggressive or kinda abusive, especially towards Helen and Enola. It's not really aggressive, it's just that he's a bit rough around the edges, dealing with the burden of taking care of them while trying to survive in the vast ocean. But that doesn't matter if some of you might find it abusive. It's a 90s movie. So different times and different ways of thinking. Anyway, the supporting cast does a great job, especially Dennis Hopper, who is over the top as the villain Deacon. And Jean Triplehorn as Helen and Tina Majorina as Enola are also great. You might not have noticed, but Jack Black is actually in the movie. He plays the plane pilot. He doesn't do much here and he has very minimal dialogue and screen time. And he also looks very young in this movie. Anyway, when talking about the movie's tone, sometimes it can be a bit uneven, swinging from serious to almost campy, but it somehow works, specifically in this crazy waterworld world. Even though everything is great in the movie so far, it actually had a rough reception when it first came out due to its enormous budget and production troubles. Like filming in the real ocean during hurricane season, which destroyed the sets and it cost a lot to rebuild back. It was one of the most expensive films ever made at the time, with a budget of $175 million, equivalent to $300 million today. The production was so difficult and dangerous that you have to know how to swim, otherwise you might unexpectedly fall in the ocean and drown. And there were also no easy bathroom breaks. You basically have to go back to the coast if you need to pee. The harsh conditions even strained the friendship between Kevin Costner and director Kevin Reynolds. However, over the years, the film gained a cult following, with fans appreciating its ambition and unique setting. Overall, Waterworld is a great movie. It's not mediocre like I expected. I really enjoy watching it. And to be honest, it's the best classic movie I've ever seen so far. And now because of this movie, I'm really eager to find and watch more classic films with similar themes like this one.